So currently at the moment, there's been a lot of talk about quarantine and staying indoors. And with that, I've seen a lot of discussion about how to support your favorite independent businesses. Now, this is a video that I've wanted to make for a while, but I thought what better time than now to talk about how to still support your favorite musicians no matter what kind of budget you have. So I've come up with a few ways that you can support your favorite artist, whether you have no budget at all, a very minimal budget, or whether you have a little bit more to spend. So we're going to start with the ways that you can support your favorite artist for free, meaning obviously not spending a damn thing. Number one is listening to your favorite artists on streaming platforms. There are streaming platforms out there that allow you to listen for free with the offset of listening to some advertisements. Whilst these ads can be a little bit annoying and kind of interrupting, it still allows you to listen to music, and a very, very small percentage of that money that's generated via that streaming platform goes to the artist. It's well known that this is pretty small, but it's better than nothing, right? There's been a lot of talk about whether you could listen to the music while having your computer on mute overnight. I've seen a lot of debate about whether that actually counts towards play counts or like the sort of legality of it. I know there was some debate when other artists have actually asked their fans to do it. It's not something that I would recommend, simply because it's kind of a grey area. Ultimately, just listen to your favorite artist out loud whenever you have the ability to do so. Number two is watching your favorite artist's music videos on YouTube. Now, in terms of supporting the artist via revenue, that's very, very, very minimal. An artist doesn't get a lot of money from YouTube streams at all. As far as I'm aware, it's actually lower than a lot of streaming platforms, but what it does do is it increases the view count, which means that the video gets recommended to more people. When people see a music video that's got like 1 million views, it's gonna pique interest. It's gonna make people think, well, if 1 million other people have watched it, why not me? Another way you can support your favorite artist for free is simply sharing that artist with your friends. Whether you feature the artist in streaming playlists or whether you just like tag your friends on social media and say, hey, listen to this person, I like them a lot. Or whether you have like a diehard like fan account on Twitter or Instagram. Social media, well, at the moment is free. I'm sure they'll come up with some way of making that not free in the future. But for now, it's free to create accounts that support your favorite artist or just tweet your friends. Another thing that you can do on social media for free is you can tag your favorite artists in posts made by bigger artists or labels or streaming services. If something like Spotify tweets out, who are you listening to right now? It costs nothing to reply and say, this person right here. Or if an artist is saying, who should I tour with? Usually that means it's already kind of been pre-decided, but it doesn't hurt to get another artist's name out there. So just another way that you can spread the good name of your favorite musician. And finally, another thing you can do for free is create release campaigns. I know that when my single Dirt came out, literally 2 years ago now, loads of you guys got together and started like filming yourselves eating a lemon and your reaction to it. And that ended up becoming like a really sort of fun challenge that people were doing, and like I got like hundreds of people doing it. And there were also hashtags, like trending hashtags and like little tag challenges. You guys were all getting together and tagging your friends and saying, hey, join in with this, join in with that. And again, that's completely free. It spreads awareness. Other people who don't know about the artist will see it. And it's just another nice way to get people involved and get people's attention. Moving on to moderate budget. So say that you don't have a lot of money, but whatever little money you do have, you wanna put it towards the artist. You might feel like it's quite a limitation on what you can do, but that's absolutely not the truth. First off, you can do all of the things I said for free. You can also buy the artist's music, whether it's on iTunes or whether it's like Bandcamp. Even if it's just a single, the artist will get a lot more of the proceeds than if you were to stream. I think the last time that I looked it up, I think it's like 1,000 streams counts as a sale. So that should give you a pretty good idea of just how important it is to like still buy music. Obviously there's been such a decline in sales at the moment, so also buying the music means that they might actually chart because a lot of people aren't buying the music anymore. So if the artist managed to break through, then they'll chart higher and get the attention of like labels and artists and things like that. It was thanks to you guys like buying my records, actually pre-ordering the album and coming to my HMV signings that my album actually ended up charting in the UK Top 40. It got number 24, which for an independent artist is pretty massive achievement, and it's something that I'll be able to say that I did for the rest of my life. I'll be able to tell other people in the industry, I did this, look what happened. And it's because people got behind me and actually bought the music. Next up, you can buy the artist's official merch, emphasis on official. Artists should usually have a good like range of items, like for instance, like you can start with like wristbands and badges that should be like under £10 to t-shirts and posters, etc. I'm not going to sit here and say, please buy all of my merch, but if you have a favorite artist and you want to like have their name on you and rep them out in public, what better way than to just, you know, buy a t-shirt. Depending on how the artist sells their merch, like whether they go through a distribution company or whether they box it all up and have it all done at home, the artist like it takes a varying amount, and it can actually really help the artist financially. Another thing you can do on a modest budget is if your independent artist has a Patreon or another one of those like support sites, you can join a lower tier of that. So it's like $1 a month or $2 a month. I don't currently have a Patreon, but I know that when I did, it was at a time where I really needed it in order to create more music and create more videos. And it was because of you guys that I was able to continue to do what I do. It was so helpful. And you know, you might think, oh well, you know, a pound a month, $1 a month, it's not really going to help that much. But if there's like 1,000 people or 2,000 people that all think that and then put that money together, that makes a massive difference to that artist. And Patreon also comes with like great perks, like you can get like official live streams that no one else can get, or you know, exclusive merch releases, or like exclusive posts and videos, etc. So it's always worth checking out to see if they have a support website like that, because as well as benefiting the artist, it can also benefit you as the fan as well. And lastly, I was going to put this one under the free bracket, but I figure depends on how you're going to do it. You can cover your favorite artist's songs and post them on Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube. If you have the confidence to put your art out there, then covering a song, like whether it's just like singing into your phone or whether you record yourself with a guitar, it's just another way that people can hear about the original song and the original artist. You know, your friends will want to support all of the things that you do, and if you can lead them back to the original artist, that's fantastic. Again, the ways in which you can cover the artist kind of varies on your budget, but there's always a way to do it for a pretty low cost. And finally, the higher bracket. Obviously, you can do all of the things that I've said previously, but on top of all of those, you could buy additional copies of the album or single, whether that's like vinyl or cassette or, you know, carrier pigeon, whatever they do these days. Another thing that you can do is you can actually gift albums and singles to people via email address on iTunes. I know that a few of you guys did that during my album release, and that counts as an extra sale. Again, this helps with charting, and also it allows the artist to get a higher percentage of sale than it would a stream. There's also the higher tiers on Patreon, so you can, you know, give a little bit more money per month, and there'll be higher perks for that as well. But last but not least, going to shows. Now, obviously I'm making this video during this sort of quarantine period where people are being advised to stay at home. So I want to make it very clear that I'm not advising that you go out into the public right now, but basically artists are really going to struggle during these times. Tours are being cancelled by promoters, and artists are going to have to find ways to make money whilst not being on tour. However, as soon as things do get better, as soon as the situation does improve and it is a little bit safer to go to public events again, please go out and see your favorite artist on tour. Now I'm going to make a video about, you know, how much profit an artist can actually make on tour, because it very much varies. But going to a show, buying a ticket really helps the artist to be able to tour again. Tours cost a lot of money to put on, and whilst there is room for the artist to make money, buying a ticket and going really helps to just make that bit a little bit easier. Makes sense, right? Also, when you're at a show, there's the opportunity to buy merch as well. But ultimately, going to shows, actually turning up, if you're able to, is one of the best ways that you can support your favorite artist. So I think that just about covers it. If you have any other suggestions as to how to help your favorite artist, things that you've done, campaigns that you've done, or if you have any questions about like, does this really help, I'll be able to answer those. So let me know down in the comments below, and also let me know any suggestions you might have for further videos in the music industry. I'll be happy to give my insight. But until next time guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I shall catch you later.